Exhaustion from striving is one of the most common modern pathways to Jesus. Not failure, not collapse, but effort that never feels like enough. Burnout, relentless pressure to optimize, the constant sense that rest has to be earned. People often say, I'm doing everything I need to do, but it still doesn't feel like enough, and I'm exhausted. It's easy to explain that exhaustion in practical terms. Too much responsibility, poor boundaries, not enough rest. But here's what doesn't quite add up. Even if we manage to reduce our workload, we remain deeply exhausted and afraid of falling behind. So the issue isn't just how much we're doing, it's how we're carrying life. What exhaustion actually reveals is a life filled with fear instead of trust, and a life carried by self-effort instead of shared strength. Underneath it all is this unspoken script. I must hustle, improve my performance, prove myself, carry it all on my own, hold it together, push through. And for a while, that works. Striving produces output, outcome, and results. But over time, it drains the soul. Eventually, a deeper realization surfaces. If all my effort hasn't produced rest, what has been carrying me and what hasn't? That's when the question shifts, not how do I manage my time better, but who is guiding my life and who is helping me carry the weight? That's not a question about discipline. It's a question about source and alignment. And this is why exhaustion so often becomes a pathway to Jesus. When performance can no longer provide rest, Jesus becomes visible, not as a productivity coach, but as the source of rest that doesn't depend on output. Jesus doesn't invite weary people to stop living. He invites them to walk with him under his gentle, steady guidance, so life is no longer carried alone. Rest doesn't come from doing nothing. It comes from being rightly connected. Exhaustion exposes whether life has been carried by self-reliance, performance-driven self-worth, self-control, and the pressure to prove ourselves. As long as we're trying to carry life on our own, exhaustion is unavoidable. Rest begins when we allow Jesus to carry what we never could. When striving collapses, it creates space to encounter Jesus as the one who gives rest, not by removing life, but by reordering it so our lives can flow from alignment. The Year of the Who exists because rest is relational, not conditional.